What it do? What it do?
Well, you looking good over there.
Boy, out here looking like 2,000 out this
You
joint.
know that, don't
You
you?
know what I'm saying? We got our fresh Jordan gear on, man. You know what I'm saying? I got my waves going. You got your hang time, bro. What's happening then?
You know that, don't you?
Man, you know that.
We back. Knuckleheads special event. I'm feeling like my old self, man. My
probably
knees
do that
feel
windmill
good,
right
man.
now,
My
boy.
Jordan gear is crispy.
We are fresh.
You know what I'm saying? I'm dripping
fresh.
over here, man. Well, I can't use drip because I'm back in the day.
Oh, my bad. No
I
people
look
take.
real tight.
It's okay.
Use an old school word. I'm tight.
Oh, yeah. We hard. You know what I'm saying? Too cold.
We back. Knuckleheads.
Man, y'all peep our 2000 looks out, you know what I'm saying? We getting nostalgic. That's why we brought it like this today, you know what I'm saying? We got our headbands, we got the brand, Jordan brand rocking with us.
You see these braids?
Vibe out with us. Got our bottle of Hennessy always on deck.
Yeah. We know the first question we ask everybody that come on the show is, who is the first person to bust their ass? And
Right.
since it's just me and you here, who's the first person to bust your ass?
Man, I guess we ain't never really gave that up, huh? We done gave little bits and pieces, but
Yeah.
for me, that we gotta go back to 2000. Straight rookie year. First time getting a chance to start. I can't remember if it was exhibition or regular season. I know it was a NBA game. It wasn't no, you know what I mean? We in Denver. Number one, you know the altitude gonna hit us.
Yeah.
And it's my first game starting.
Yeah.
So we get out there. I'm like, cool. Sean Leonard, like, you know what I'm saying? This light, this easy. He ain't like no superstar, nobody I gotta be worried about. That first 6-minute timeout, came and sat down, looked at you, looked at KD, and y'all kind of like, y'all ain't really trying to laugh. If y'all try to cover, boy, 17, bang, 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 17 in the first 6 minutes for Sean Leonard. So much post-game, shoulder work. He had the little chubby game, bang, bang, 3 ball, raising me up. I'm changing the light bulb. He's sidestepping, 3 ball. I said, man, that was like how you asked the question. When you really know, I sat down, I was like, okay, I got to rethink my approach and respect all.
Yeah.
Because I disrespected him in my approach, and that's why he tore my ass up from the beginning. I got him back, though. That was my career high, New Year's Eve, 2004. Denver, in L.A.
Payback's a motherfucker.
Yeah, but Sean was part of that.
Well, the first person to bust my ass was crazy as we played Sacramento Kings, and this the Sacramento Kings with Bibby and Weber and Vlade and, you know, Doug Christie, Bobby Jackson.
Straight up.
They had a squad.
One of their best teams
Turkaloo. First time we played them, I was guarding like a bunch of people because, you know, he had me guarding everybody. But like the second time we played them in L.A.
Damn.
And I was matched up with Chris Webber. They was kind of kicking our ass, but I was guarding Chris Webber most of the game. And
did he do a lot of moves, or was it just one in particular?
he was just simply just jump hooking my ass to like death, like boom, boom, jump hook,
Left shoulder.
boom, boom, fake jump hook, and I'm timing it. When I look up, I think he had like 34. And I feel like I got most of that 34. I remember coming back to the bench and seeing you and KD was like, yeah, this the game that you got your ass bust. And y'all was laughing and shit like that. And I was like, yeah, I felt defeated that day. Like I couldn't just stop him.
Yeah, that was nasty. C-Web, too. C-Web was murdering everybody then.
So, Chicago, you from the South Side. Like, what made you choose, like, Whitney Young? Whitney Young went one of the schools that I was, like, hearing out of Chicago.
Right.
Before I got to know you or so forth on, like, I heard of King, I heard of Simeon, I heard of
right
different type schools, but, like, Whitney Young was one of them schools that just came out of nowhere, and y'all was the era that put it on the map. So
right.
What made you choose Whitney Young?
So, for me, right, you already know, you know what I'm saying, my homeboy, my best friends, even to this day. So we started playing AAU together, 6th, 7th grade, D Gates, Cordell, you know what I'm saying? And straight out of grade school, they went to Whitney Young. I wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? We all playing with the Warriors and everything. My pop's like, nah, you're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not doing that transit all the way from the south side, from the Hundreds to the west side, right on the tip of the west side. So he like, nah, that's too far. So my first year, I ended up going to all boys Catholic school, Brother Rice. And it was like, that was the first time I had like, yo, this is culture shock. It was like mostly predominantly white. You got to wear uniforms, suits, shirt and tie, not suits, but shirt and tie, like slacks. I was like, nah. It was then it's all boys too, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, this ain't it. But I went because I wanted to play varsity with my cousin, Rico Hill, and then Britt Booker that was from the, you know what I'm saying, from the neighborhood. I wanted to play with Britt Booker. We all looked up to Britt and Rico growing up, so I'm like, cool, I'll go there, get to play with my cousin. So I get there and don't even get to try out for varsity. The coach like, nah, y'all don't even get to try out, me and my cousin Nate. And then there was another freshman, Timmy O'Neal. We should have all been able to try out and play. Would have definitely made the varsity. He said, no, we had to play on sophomore. So I had to play my whole freshman year on sophomore, watching, like, you know what I'm saying, we go play the Corey McGetty school. He on varsity playing against Rico and them. I'm sitting here in the crowd, damn slacks and damn button up in the tie. So then after that year, when we went, you know, my pops was like, because as soon as they didn't let me try it, I was like, pops, nah, I need to go. And, you know, my pops, you know how he is, old school. He like, look, I don't know nothing. You know, he don't know nothing about basketball and what's going on, and it's not fair. He like, listen, in life, stuff gonna happen. It's not gonna be fair. He like, you're not gonna be able to just pick up and go and run and do this. He like, and I'm not gonna set that precedent for you to think that when things don't go your way that you just say, I'm gonna go do this. And so I was pissed. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you know what I'm saying, I gotta go through it. So he made me legit stick out the whole year, go to school there. We went 24-0, slapped up everybody. We was way better than any team. We was supposed to be on varsity, you know what I'm saying? We had 3 dudes legit that could have been playing minutes on varsity, whatever. So after that year, I leave. I'm like, cool, I'm gone. I'm like, I ain't coming back for this. So, you know what I'm saying? That's when I got to go, you know what I'm saying? Cordell's father, Judge, he came over and he was like, he persuaded my pops. Him, Coach, you know, Larry Butler, they came through, persuaded my pops to let me go. And then that's when Whitney Young, you know what I'm saying? Like that year, though, D. Gates and CDL them was hooping. Because that was the year I remember seeing D. Gates in the paper, dog. D. Gates as a freshman hit like 27 on Ronnie Fields and KG Farragut. I'm like, oh, look at my dog. He in the Sun-Times, dog, the Tribune, freshman, repping. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, I supposed to be over there with them. Cordell starting at point, varsity, like both of them starting. I'm like, I'm over here on, you know what I'm saying, sophomore.
Yeah.
So, but then I go there. Our first year, we was, you know what I'm saying, we was cool. We started to, you know what I'm saying, figure it out and make some noise. By toward the end, we beat King in the playoffs, and then we lost. But senior year, city was ours.
That came together.
That was when it became, it was us. It was all us. And the coldest part about us going to Whitney Young and Red West, you know what I'm saying, our division, that was the toughest division, period, in Chicago basketball. Any, whatever league, public, Catholic, anything, Red West was it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the business. And we came in that joint back-to-back years, undefeated. Nobody in the city touch us. Because, you know, that's from 6th grade, bro. You know how that is. You was part of that, you know what I'm saying, the AAU style. Like, that's why you almost came to Whitney Young, because you was, you know what I'm saying, we was tight like that. But what we did in the city, we knew nobody couldn't mess with us. You know what I'm saying? The baddest part about it is we was all from the south side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all D. Gates from the Hundreds. I'm from the Hundreds. C-Dell from 84th. You know what I'm saying? Corey from the Hundreds. You know what I'm saying? Marquise stay out south in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like, half all of our dudes is out here hooping. You know what I'm saying? Red, Shooter. All from the south side.
Yeah.
We on the west side.
Was y'all going to west side school?
Well, all the other gangs from the different neighborhoods that we from, we going through all of that, and we navigating all that, and we ran the city legit. And the best part about it is that Whitney Young High School is a magnet school. It was the quote unquote nerd school. They didn't want an academic decathlon 1,000,000 years in a row and all this stuff. They ain't never been known, but like hoop. When we came through that joint, then you get, you know, the Jaleel Okafors and the people that came behind.
Everybody came behind.
Still winning. They got a boy there now, DJ Stewart, is about to go to Duke. You know what I'm saying? We set that template to become Simeon, you know what I'm saying, one of the high school forces, a King, a Morgan Park now, you know what I'm saying, them type of teams. So we always look back at that. Me, CDLD Gates, we know we had a whole hand in that.
Yeah.
Winning state, winning national, you know what I'm saying? We did that.
Yeah.
What about you? What happened with your high school situation though? Like, you went to a whole school that got shut down.
Yeah. I only played 3 years of high school.
Ooh, we thought we had you at the young too.
Yeah, I played 3 years of high school, and then so ninth grade I was in junior high school, and that's when I met y'all. And I ain't never played high school ball, so it was nothing to play with y'all. And I remember we went to the AAU game, and my school was on strike. Y'all was trying to hurry up and get back so we can get back to go so y'all can go to school. And y'all was going to get straight off the plane and go to school because, remember, we had to stay an extra night in Connecticut. Yeah. And I'm like, shit, I don't even got to go to school. And we like a month in school and our whole school on strike. You know what I'm saying? So I was almost finna go to Whitney Young with y'all, definitely. I would probably want me a state championship.
You was this close to being
But
a champion.
I wound up going to the historic school where it was a historic coach that Lincoln High School. And Coach Benny Lewis, like I say, he won state in Illinois. He was the first coach to win it 3 in a row back then. And it was just history behind him, and that was the history that I kind of grew up.
Was that the LaFonso Ellis team?
Yeah.
Right.
Fonzo Ellis played for him, Conzo Martin. Like a lot of greats played for him and came from up under him. So I was definitely going to go to his school. So they decided to close our school before the season even started. But I went to the school. So I played my sophomore year, and my first year of high school, like I did good. I was ranked high for sophomore, and I was the only sophomore to make All-State.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Be on the team for All-State, which I felt was dope.
Wait. I know when I first met you was wearing glasses. By then, was you still wearing glasses?
No, I wasn't wearing glasses.
Oh, yeah, he had his contacts.
I had contacts.
He was cool, D-Miles. Then when I first met him, that boy was like this. He had the little circle glasses on, be all quiet.
I didn't have glasses and stuff. I remember this thing. I was playing AAU ball with y'all, and I was playing AAU ball with this East St. Louis team. Because we didn't even know about AAU ball, but they just started the AAU ball. So we playing in little bullshit tournaments. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that's really sponsored how we was playing with Butler. But, you know, if you just get an AAU team and just get some tournaments to go to. So I was playing with the East St. Louis team, and we went to Memphis, and I had these goggles on. My mama took me to get them Horace Grant goggles. So I didn't want to wear them motherfuckers. And I remember the first game we played, because I'm nice. Like, I'm nice. Like, I haven't even played high school ball.
Miles when he got you them whole Grant Jones.
Look, I haven't played high school ball, but I play pro-am. I play with adults.
Right.
So playing high school ball or playing with kids my age is like a lower level to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I get on the court and I got these fucking goggles on. And
so you wore 'em.
We had jump ball. Dude, like, all 5 of them, they all like, I got him. They looking at me like, this boy look like pure shit. He gotta be weak. Like, they from East St. Louis. Like, nah, I got the dude with the goggles on. That's who I want to guard. So I'm like, man, I'm feeling totally disrespected, right? So that whole tournament, I'm talking about kicked they ass so hard with these goggles on. What the time when I walked out that motherfucker, everybody in the gym giving me 5. Like,
did they give you like a nickname like Goggle Guy or something?
No, they ain't giving it, but they gave me they gave me the respect.
Right.
Cause like I just remember like starting that tournament off, and these dudes just laughing at me like trying to take turns or trying to fight over who guarded me, cause they feel like it was a night off. But they're just nuts. So I went to Lincoln, and like I said, I had a good year, and I was only sophomore to make All-State, which y'all was all you, Corey, Frankie, all y'all was first team. I think I made second team. All-State, only sophomore to make it. And then the next year came, and I wind up, I was finna go to Oak Hill.
I remember.
And then they told me about Oak Hill and the girls and stuff and the school and how close was the next. They was in the mountain. I was like, fuck nah. Then it was one of our rivals from St. Louis, Vashon. I was thinking about going there. Cause they was a powerhouse and they had a cold squad and they just didn't have a superstar like me, but they had stars. They had a bunch of stars, but they didn't have a superstar like me. I know I could have went over there and could have won 2 states in Missouri, but still, St. Louis, it was just a thing. Like, man, I ain't going across that water,
boy.
Even though it was that close. So I wound up going to our rival school, Eastside, because my coach decided that he was gonna coach it. Cause he was like, I ain't coaching at Eastside. He decided he was gonna coach, so I wound up going to Eastside. And I remember my mama telling me, if you gonna make it, you can make it from the crib. Cause it was all these schools like, shit, come play for our team. And I ain't never been nowhere outside the hood, so I'm like, I'm glad I stayed in the hood, cause it still made me comfortable. So I went to Eastside, and shit, when I went to Eastside, them next 2 years was just dominating. Like,
I remember.
Dominating,
getting quadruple doubles out that jump.
Dominating them next 2 years, and then, the league after that.
You remember the conversation we had
at DePaul?
About you going to the league?
Yeah. It was. I remember you telling me like I remember you kept on shooting me down like, man, forget all that, bro. You gone. You ain't
trying to ask me questions about the school.
You ignored every question
man,
I asked about the
knock
part.
Like, bro, like you was out of here. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna get this little money that we supposed to get. We gonna go have a good time, take you to this bowling alley, show you a movie or something. We gonna hang out. But like, bro, you not coming here. Like, bro, I'm looking at the draft boards every day because I'm on them. I'm like, I'm trying to see what I'm going to do. I'm like, boy, please. Then I say, you out of here.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. You out of here.
Yeah. I wanted to go to college, but it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. It's because I dominated the All-Star games. I dominated the McDonald's game. Put on a show in McDonald's
in
game.
Boston.
Put on a show for the USA game. Put on a show for the Nike Bluegrass Classic. And they were saying, like, shit, lottery.
Sir? Yeah, that's what it was.
They were saying lottery, so I had to go. And then going through the process that we went through. When I came down and we stayed in the apartments together. And we kind of worked out together the whole time. Tell them about the story, though. You remember when we went to the draft pre-workouts, and you know how they put the stickers on you, like the stress test or whatever they want to call it. They put the stickers on you, and everybody running this stress test, and it's made to get you tired, like to get your heart rate up. Now I don't want to say get you tired, to get your heart rate up.
Right.
I don't even think I got halfway through that bitch, and I was like, "Hey, cut this off." You remember that shit?
He walked right now. You told, hey man, nah, y'all stop this. Like, I ain't doing this no more. They was like, he's like, nah, I ain't doing this no more.
I just jumped off that motherfucker. You remember that?
Off and they was trying to steal. They was like, you gotta get up to it. He was like, I said, get it up. Oh, okay. You ain't gonna hear me loud.
Yeah. And they could have fucked up my draft.
Yeah, it could have been made you be seen in a bad light if somebody reported it. Like,
yeah, when I look back on it,
have that intel these days.
It could have fucked up my draft, but me not thinking and not knowing the moment I'm in, like, saying you finna go straight out of high school, it's like, yeah, you going straight out of high school, but then everything is surreal.
Yeah.
Like how we went to the draft. We went to the draft and like, we seeing this shit. We seeing the jewelers there and some of these cats is buying jewelry. We seeing all the suit guys. We seeing all the Asians.
Everything.
We going kicking in Prince Club.
Yeah.
After the draft, we in Prince Club, and then we take a private jet to L.A.
Hey, bro, before you even get to that, the part that was the craziest part is for us to be, like you said, we used to be at the apartment at the crib going all these different workouts. I'm going to a million workouts. You going to a few. You went to a few, but not as many as me. And then we sitting there, laughing and joking like, man, we ain't gonna get. It'll be dope to get drafted together, but. In my mind, I'm like, nah, I ain't about to get drafted to the same team because ain't no team. The only team that had multiple teams was the Clippers, and we ain't Ain't nobody working out for them. We ain't working out for them. We dodging them and everything. And I'm just not thinking. I'm thinking like, I already know you top 5. I'm like, I'm about to be right after that, like in the top 10 somewhere. That was my thought. So I'm like, there's no way. For us to get picked together, you remember what happened? Our tables was next to each other. And when you got drafted, I want to say either Mama Miles or Don or somebody, or maybe Jeff. I think that's what it was. I think Jeff came. He was over there with y'all, when you got drafted. He had a hat and everything. So when he came back to our table, he sat down and put the hat down. Because I remember my sister saying, like, he jinxed us with this damn hat. Because she didn't want me to go to L.A. for nothing. Yeah. She did not want me to go to L.A. She was scared for me to come out here because she was just scared of L.A. So when I remember her saying when she was crying, she like, Jeff in the damn hat. She was like, I was like, the hat was sitting here. Like, you know what I'm saying? From when you got, that was from the third pick. And I had to wait to the 18th. So it was sitting on the table the whole time. I'm sitting there getting hot. The picks going by. I'm like, then I got to play it all because my pops getting nothing easy. Rochelle getting nothing easy. I got to act like I'm having a good time so they be cool. But I was steaming, boy. Like, no, I'm better than him. No disrespect. But you know how it is. I'm like, nah, boy. Then you start to sit there. I don't want to become the nightmare in the green room. I'm one pick. Then boy, I get picked at 18. When Jeff told me, he was like, the Clippers going to take you. I'm like, at the same time, it was like 3 different emotions. I was still pissed because I'm like, this is crazy that I'm just now about to get picked. But then he was like, I was like, but I'm with bro. Like, then I knew, like, Keon had got picked at 10. I'm like, man, I'm with bro and KD's. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
was to the trade.
No, Maggette, see what happened? I'm on the way up the ramp to go shake David Stern's hand. As I was walking up, they was announcing the trade.
Yeah.
Did Corey and Derek Strong got traded from Orlando to us, and I'm like, it was all hitting me at once. Like, damn. So we get to the back. I'm like, that's when you had that behind the scenes with us shaking up, talking about, man, we going to L.A. I'm like, bro, Corey out there, KD gonna be out there, and we about to go play with L.O. Like, yeah. I'm like, bro, we about to be wild.
Straight up.
And so, like you said, when we got on that private jet the next day, that was it for me. We were superstars.
Yeah, everything
was famous.
Surreal. Like, you know what it reminded me when Magic Johnson explains when he first got to L.A., when he got picked by the Lakers and he leaving Michigan and he going straight to L.A. and he get off the plane and he just riding down the street seeing palm trees. Shit that you ain't never even seen before. And that's how I felt our whole thing was. It's like, man, we took a private jet. We ain't never been on a private jet a day in our life.
Came here, stayed at the L'Armitage.
We just looking at the Ja Rule video. You know what I'm saying? Like,
boy,
it's just
living it up.
And then getting off that plane and getting a driver. We really not used to drivers. With our names on. We ain't used to drivers yet. And then we taking that ride and riding through the street, riding through Beverly Hills and all that stuff, and you see these palm trees. It's like, man, I'm in L.A. Like, I'm
thinking about Beverly Hills.
And then, the crazy is that feeling of, I'm not a Laker, but I'm playing for an L.A. team, and I'm in L.A.
Man, I felt like Eddie in Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
That's how I was feeling, riding through, looking at these big-ass houses and all that. Like, man, we out here. Talk about when we finally came here. Like, all right, we had already did the draft and came out here, did the little press conference stuff. But when we came back out here, remember we stayed in the Marriott right there in Marina Del Rey? Staying in that joint. This one we was SpongeBob SquarePants, bro.
Yeah.
We went and got all these dress clothes, think we was going to be going out to the club, only to be turned away
Some club, yeah.
Man, the first time we even got in the spots with L.O., we got shut down every time before that.
No, we went with Hits from the Street.
That is right. We did go with Ali Al, Hits from the Street.
We went to Farouk. Got a nice little walker. Back then everybody had a walker. You had a walker or two.
And some of them Donald Pliners.
You know what I'm saying? Get you a nice little walker, nice little, dress, little fit. And then you go out. We went out with Hits from the Streets. Back then, Hits from the Streets was like big on BET. Everybody like loved this show. on BET.
That's crazy.
And we met
bro.
him. We just met him, and he was like, "Let's go out." So me and you went out.
You right.
18, 19. And we was on the dance floor. That's back in the day when they used to dance. These young folks don't dance no more. All they do is this.
When we fell asleep, bruh, we had went out in New York. This our first time out in New York. We out there wild. We went out, stayed out crazy late. So we get to the garden. We get there for our shoot around. They ain't got the lights on or nothing. We waiting for the people to come put the lights on in the garden. We listen. So we sitting there while all this happening, and me and D Miles and fell asleep, leaning up against each other. We done fell asleep. So we got our hoodies and stuff on. Like, we didn't even realize that the lights done came on. Everybody done got out there on the court and stuff, right? So AG, you remember AG was like, listen, I mean, if you guys can't handle your business and be adults, you're going to, he was just being general. He was not really singling us out. But we knew, everybody knew he was talking about us because we was legit over there asleep, bro.
Remember we rented the little Jeep, Izuki or whatever the fuck it was. It was something.
Oh,
we
man.
rented it, and I remember we was riding around.
We
LA.
didn't rent it. They rented it for us. That was our vehicle to get around in.
Yeah, we riding around LA, and we like getting lost.
Boy.
And we kind of like ride into the jungle. We don't know where the fuck we at. We like ride into the jungle.
For those who may or may not know what the jungle is, think about if you've seen the movie Training Day with Denzel, obviously, think about the scene when he going into the neighborhood, the projects, and the dude on top of the building, and he doing the clap, letting the birds off to let them know that the popos is coming through, letting the pigeons out to let them know. And so basically it's like one way in, from the way we understand it, is one way in and one way out. And we was right there in that one way in. And if it wasn't for, you know what I'm saying, for them boys recognizing the young boy Fresh right here, boy, whoo, Black and Miles being that top pick, boy, they knew what was going on with him. They looked him in the face, said, man, that's the young boy, straight out of high school. I said, whoo. I said, if you ain't never came through for us, you done came through for us, boy.
I used to ride all the way around.
Y'all go home, don't come back through here. Y'all don't need to be nowhere around here.
And we ain't come back. We actually went back. It was a rec center that's close by there that we went back for the kids.
Yeah, with the clips. They had
we was doing a lot
community event.
Our thing was to go. Our appearances, we wanted to go to the hoods.
Yeah,
cause we was young. We was happy to be in the NBA. We wanted to work hard and earn our respect. That we wanted to be respected, to be one of the NBA players, one of the people that supposed to be here and have a long career. And you remember going to Santa Barbara, and we was getting all this and one girl, and we going to Santa Barbara like we do every summer. But now we draft. So this is an actual trip we playing on our own dime. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. We drove though.
And but we
the hotel though.
But we felt
first time we got to stay at the Bacara.
We felt so much player because we staying at the same hotel Mike is staying there. So we feeling like we made it.
Got a little sweet.
To see Mike see us with this and one girl
pulling up in our own truck, whipping.
And one girl on and all that stuff, like talk about when we got announced that when he told us
we family,
he gave us the word that like
familiar.
Yeah, like,
but to me that's like one of my all-time favorite stories. Period.
Yeah.
It don't get, you know what I'm saying, it don't get better than that, bigger than that. For us to be from the crib, you grew up in East St. Louis, I grew up in Chicago. We both watching WGN from inception when Mike doing his thing, building his legacy and making the Bulls what they were. You fast forward to us at Jordan camp, and we got on all this and1 stuff, and after the game, after the little council game, we hooping and everything. He like, man, what y'all doing with this stuff? We like, man, look, I thought y'all was Nike guys. We like, man, Jeff trying to work out the deal. We waiting to see what's happening. He like, don't worry about it. He like, y'all gonna be with me. We like, remember in that moment, we didn't know what that even meant.
Yeah.
It was just like,
some girl or something.
We like, word, like Mike, you know what I'm saying? Then you fast forward, Jeff calling us the next day, like, I don't know what happened, but I guess Michael said you guys are gonna come be with him, be with Jordan or whatever, and they're gonna take care of everything. And so I'm like, I just went from getting no bread and an apparel deal. They, now you weren't trying to throw me nothing but apparel deal and no bread. You was getting low bread, and Mike made them up the bread and give me some bread.
Yeah.
And then it was the fact that we was about to be with Mike, with Jordan Brand. Like, when they was telling, like, how about when we got our first shipment? The very first
Kids
shipment.
at a candy store.
First of all, it was so many boxes. Boxes so tall make everybody want to fall. Like, bro, like, you got to think.
You remember they came with the booklet in that junk.
Yeah, you getting one of everything.
Yeah.
And the for real coldest part about it was that back then you legit used to get one of everything. And that's when he had the 2-3 line. Remember that? When he had the casual line?
Yeah.
Like, for me, we had just went from, like, thinking we was about to wear N1s. And now you looking at it like the coldest dude ever. So, for real GOAT, hand-picked us and said, you up under this.
It kind of took the league by surprise. I always wanted to ask him why he, like, because he could have did anybody. He could have blessed anybody that made him Jordan Brand. And it wasn't, I was number 3 pick, but that was kind of, but it wasn't nothing too specific or special or intriguing for us to get a deal, especially not to get a Jordan deal and be Jordan. Like, I know a lot of people, we used to always ask us, like, how the fuck y'all get on Jordan? Like,
I'm serious. I always looked at it like Mike fucked with us because we had been. He got to know us a little bit from being at Jordan Camp. We was at Jordan Camp 3-4 years in a row.
Like,
I know
he fucked with us, but it's just.
It was something he saw in the way we went about it.
A lot of people. That don't mean he blessed them with the shoe deal.
Hey, matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? We still, you know what I'm saying? Show off your Jordan gear.
See, they see it. I don't need to show it off.
Oh, I wanted to. Shit.
I always wanted to ask why he blessed us.
I feel like Mike had an affinity for Chicago dudes too, though. When you look at it, like, look, Jawan, Finn, you know what I'm saying, had Bobby getting love for a minute.
But I'm just saying, like, with us, like, that it was no reason for him to just give us a Jordan deal.
We gotta ask him that when we get him on here.
We didn't give him.
We gotta ask him that when he get him on here.
We definitely gotta ask him that when he bless us with his presence.
You know, we like to ask everybody this. You know, I know it. You know it. But when you felt like you got the bag, the bizag, maybe not your rookie year because you ain't really, you know what I'm saying. I'm talking about like what you did, what you do.
When I do that, I was like, damn, I spent that much.
Yeah.
Damn, I gotta say which one.
Which one?
A couple of bad situations. I was like, damn, D-Miles, you wild like a motherfucker. You a wild ass boy, D-Miles. You gonna pay that for that?
You a wild boy.
But it was like I private jetted, and that joint was like, and I was only getting dropped off. But you know, when you with a private jet, if you pay for motherfucker to come get you, you gotta pay for there and back, even though you not even
right. If it gotta come to you, you gotta pay for it to get to you.
You got not really to get to you. You gotta pay for it to.
See, I ain't experiencing this.
You gotta pay for it to go back to where it was. Like, say, like, all right, so if it's a jet already at the airport or a jet flying in, you really don't gotta pay for it to come to you. But you gotta pay for it. You gotta pay for the fuel. It's basically about the fuel. It ain't about the plane. It's about the fuel.
Right.
So you gotta pay for it to take you to your destination and pay for it to go back to its destination. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel you, but I'm not veteran mode.
I think one time I did some humbug shit on some last minute shit. And this one I had that black card. I just got the ching ching. You know, them unlimited minutes.
Titanium.
So when I got them unlimited minutes, got this private jet, and I think that shit was like 40.
I've paid for 2 private jets in my life. One was for my honeymoon.
Shit.
One was for my honeymoon. We went to Anguilla, me and my wife. It was baller. The other one is when I helped Eddie out, and he paid me back. I ain't did no damn private jets now. Whole lot of first class.
That bitch was about 4 because it was some last minute shit. some humbug shit.
Ooh.
And I was feeling myself.
But see, I be feeling like the man when I walk through.
Man, I'm sold on my rich homie.
Boy.
What about you? What you buy? You was like, damn, shit, I just paid for that.
The first thing when we bought them chains as rookies, when we bought them chains, bro, that was the first thing where I was like, I can't believe this. I felt like that about that first chain because how my pops looked at my ass when I told him how much it cost.
Yeah.
I wasn't rolling with that. I was like, damn. Kind of had to think about it twice. I got over it quick. I was cool, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the first thing. But let me ask you this, though. Do you remember how we used to be doing all of those damn shows? The R-list, the one-on-one R-list, and then we did the cult legendary Van Wilder.
Van Wilder, part of that series, Van Wilder series.
Like, we get love from that. Like, so many people remember us being in that movie.
Perfect Score.
Perfect Score. Yeah, you for real movie star now, boy. You looking like it right now.
Yeah, I be Denzelin'. I stay Denzelin'. I should have won the Oscar for that, but we ain't gonna.
Hey, boy.
We ain't gonna talk about it. But yeah, like just that, I remember we got. I just remember a lot of stuff that they do because it slowed down. They was doing it some in the 90s, but it was actually Pacific people. But the stuff that we was doing, they wasn't doing as much as they doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they weren't doing TV shows or so forth. I remember at one point in time, the only person that basketball really that was on TV was Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of like wasn't messing with nothing TV-wise. And us being in LA for us to do the shows, so we look back on it now, and I just see people and just hear them talk about it. It's like, man, yeah, I used to watch the songs, or I used to see this, or I knew that was you. You played in Perfect Score.
Yeah.
Man, I remember when you was in Van Wilder.
That Van Wilder love hit different, boy. It'd be hilarious, boy. Random people be like, man, I remember you from Van Wilder.
Like, growing up and watching Flex on other TV shows to being the one-on-one TV show was like crazy. Being on Artlist and HBO.
That was
like,
dope.
all that was so real because it was like we was just at the crib watching TV and admiring the entertainment business, and now you're a superstar in the league and you're part of the entertainment business, and people want you to audition and be in this. And like I say, it was a time where people weren't doing it because, like, the commercials.
You know, when we really thought we were out, I swear to God, I was just about to say that. When we got the Jordan commercial when Spike Lee did it.
Yeah. That was historic.
Like, I remember Jeff first time, she was like, yeah, so Jordan Brand's gonna do a commercial. They want to do a commercial. We like, we about to get a commercial, boy. We about to get our first. So then we like, cool. He like, yeah. So then he calls back like the next day, like, hey, Spike Lee's gonna direct the commercial. We like,
crazy.
What? Like, what? He like, yeah. So y'all gotta fly to New York. We like, we gonna do it in New York. We like, oh. I remember getting to the set. Remember they had it that old church or whatever in the city. Like, we get to the set, like we both got trailers. You had your trailer. I said, man, we got trailers. I felt like, man, it was too crazy. Like, we about to do a commercial with Spike Lee, bro, for Jordan.
Yeah.
Mars. We about to do it down.
And to this day, them shoes that they brought out, which was Jordan shoes, they didn't have me or your name on it. People who's fan of Jordan or grew up on Jordans or whatever, they think them was our actual shoes with the suitcase.
the 16s.
Jordan with the suitcase is the D Miles and Q Jordan because we had the commercial.
And then remember when you used to get when you got the shoes, they had that little card with us on it in there.
And they had the disc, the little CD in there.
And they had us on there.
Yeah. That was one
of the all time.
Even the
moments.
opportunities. Another historic commercial that I had the opportunity to be in, Lamar called me.
Oh, yeah.
The Nike commercial with the sneakers sounds and all that stuff.
Throwing the ball from one screen
I wasn't
to the
even
next.
in. I feel like Nike paying me, but I'm with Jordan. Lamar called me talking about being in the commercial. It's a Nike commercial.
I don't know.
And they gave me the okay to do it. And I just drove from my house, went to the studio, and did that commercial. Glad I was a part of it because it turned out to be a legendary commercial, one of the best commercials ever when it comes to like basketball or sports.
the first body you caught. You know, you was
first motherfucker I dunked on.
Was Dr. Dunk. You believe in dunks, and more dunks.
First motherfucker I dunked on.
Yeah, who was the first? I know. I just want to hear the story. The first thrash, the first kaboom.
First person I dunked on. Man, I just really, really respect him. But I was in preseason, and we was playing against the Pacers, and we was at Indiana State.
Yes, non-televised game.
And I came down the middle, and man, I just dunked it hard, body to body. Me and Jermaine O'Neal, and I dunked that bitch so hard, and it got tangled up, and like was hollering like ah.
It was more like yeah, like voice back then.
I had bass in my shit.
No, what? No, because that's what me and Keon was laughing at, because you was looking like you were about 175 pounds, trying to flex, and you was looking skinny, and you like
how it sounded,
like a little Simba.
It sounded in my ears. It sounded like a lion's roar.
That's how Simba sounds to himself too. He sounded like a big lion, but you was a baby
like
lion. You
King Simba.
It was kind of like I ain't know
like
you
the
was
king.
like hollering or
I had
screaming.
a lot of
the dunk was cold.
Whatever,
bottom line,
what
right?
You know what
I'm saying? The dunk was hard. Go
ahead.
So
I dunked that motherfucker so hard and got tangled up, like all arms and stuff, and somewhere I got tangled up, and I came down low, and I lift up.
That's when you got flexed on him.
Came down, so then he came back down, man. I felt so good because he gave me a 5, like, and all I can remember, because I used to always watch the Sean Kemp highlights, and I remember when Sean Kemp dunked on Gatlin.
He gave him a 5.
And Gatlin came back. It was like, motherfucker, you dunked that shit. And when he gave me the 5, that's instantly what I thought about.
But time out. What did my OG, triple OG from Chicago come in and say?
All I can hear is Isaiah saying, don't shake that motherfucking hand.
Hey, Zeke ain't on there.
The fuck wrong with you? Why you shaking that motherfucking hand? He just dunked on you. And that's all I can remember him saying. So the first body that you caught.
Man, the first body I caught, I remember it well. Cause I ain't used to get a lot of dunks like that. It was in LA at Staples Center at home. I can't remember if it was regular. I think it was regular season. But Mookie Blaylock. I was cutting down the lane.
Dunking on point guards and shit?
Bro, we asked her who was the first one. I just dunked on some big people before too. Don't act like I didn't. You know this.
All right.
You asked the first body I caught.
Mookie Blaylock, okay.
That's it was an and one. 2 hands. Slapped the boards, all that. He was all up under me. He was in my midriff. He was in the area. It was powerful. Powerful.
Right.
2 hands for safety, slapped the boards, all that came off. I screamed louder and harder than you too. And when I flexed, it looked different than you too.
But it didn't look good. You dunked on Mookie Blaylock.
That was the only difference. We talking about the totality of everything that took place.
Tell us who you done dunked on that's 6'5" and up.
I dunked on Alonzo Mourning before.
What game? Where you was at?
It's pictures. It's Googleable. Shout out to Drew Gooden. It's Googleable. I have photos.
Who you was playing for then?
The Clippers.
You played for the Clippers?
Yes.
I was there?
I don't know if you were there because I had 2 years without you, but it definitely was. I sent the picture to Jeff.
I don't know because that ain't in my
I sent the picture to Jeff when it happened.
Okay, that ain't in my
memory. I dunked on other people bigger than him. I just threw that out there. First of all, don't do this.
I was just asking.
What you got to ask for? You was there for a lot of them.
Okay, I was just asking because I don't remember that. So you said Mookie Blaylock is the first person you dunked on?
Let's go on to something else. I don't even want to talk about it no more because you pissing me off right now.
Yes, man.
Like that. Just because your first one was on a big man and mine wasn't.
I was just saying, like, Mookie Blaylock is not really nothing to brag.
It's not bragging. It's telling the truth, bruh. You asked who was the first person I dunked on.
But you just explained your dunk on Mookie Blaylock. You swing on that bitch and slap the glass with 2 hands and all that shit for Mookie Blaylock.
You supposed to do that period when you throw that hoe and get fouled on the and one. What you talking about?
Shout out to Moneybag Yo. Bitch, you doing too much. Doing all that shit for Mookie Blaylock.
Man, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. Move on to the next one.
I remember two moments with Q that I was extra hyped when I was with the Clippers. I remember 2 moments. I remember The first one I remember when Q is a legit 2, but he post up with the best of them, and I remember Q had Brian Grant,
a big boy.
Brian Grant, power forward on the ground, and we posted him up, and Q bagged his ass down, left, right, jump hooked his ass like he was a guard. And like I was proud of my boy and very happy to him because like, you know, I root for him. You know, I think he deserved to be here and he one of the best. So when he posted Brian Grant up like he was a 2 guard instead of a big ass power forward, I thought that shit was dope. I was hyped for him. And the other time I was super hyped for him is when we was at the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have my stats weren't really crazy. I think I probably had like 8 points, but my stats was like highlights. Like my 8 points, my 4 times I scored was like
blocks.
Highlights, but then it was more like defense blocks and, you know what I'm saying, like defensive plays, stuff like that. But Q probably had about 28 or some shit like that. He was killing, and, you know, everybody want to kill in the Garden, so I was super geek for you. I remember I was super geek for you, man, when you killed in the Garden. It felt like both of us killed because both of us had a deep impact on that game for us to win that game in the Garden, so I was geeked about that.
Shit, for me, I just remember, like, especially first half of the season, I just remember every time, bro, being out there, I used to be too hyped. Cause I used to be like, man, you know, I used to tell you every time, you go out there and bust their ass for both of us, boy. Cause you know I probably ain't gonna get out there. I'm gonna be over here gas for you. So, but I remember specifically, bro, the first time, cause it happened several times, but the first time you threw that hoe on Sean Bradley, bro, I feel like I dunked out my own seat cause I saw it coming, and if you went up, I jumped with you, and you and almost settled on with the one hand. While I went to yelling, almost ran up the sideline talking. Me and Keon were going crazy. I said, boy, this boy just dunked on Bradley, posterized. I say that is gonna be on ESPN tonight. Dun. I say, boy, he just posterized Sean Bradley, bro, 7'6". And you ended up dunking on him like 8 times in our time at the Clippers.
Every time I seen him.
He used to dunk on him every time, bro.
I'm gonna dunk your ass every time I see your ass, big motherfucker.
But the other time I remember being geek, because you remember we in LA, it was always a huge deal for us to play the Lakers. And you already know, I ain't gonna say what we really used to say we wanted to do when we played the Lakers. We wanted to get our viewership rating up. You know what I'm saying? We wanted the young ladies and the people to see us. I ain't gonna say, you know what we say. We get our rating up, but we used to always want to play good against the Lakers. And I remember that game where you came out and you bust the Lakers' ass. Like, even on, like, you look at little Google YouTube highlights now, they always got the highlight where the one play you beat Kobe shit up off the board, then we went back on the other end. And I got a layup off that, but then they got the one where you got him out on the wing, 6'9". You hit him with the A, yeah, bang, bang, crossover one, and he reached, and you so long, you ain't dribbling no more. You picked it up and just earthed it. I was like, man, I just remember sitting there like, bro, just crossed up cold, beat this shit like this. He out here can guard any of these people, like, for real. You beat Shaq shit that game. Remember? Like, I was like, that's when I started, because you remember it became a point where I started telling you, like, yo, like, you ain't got to take this back seat to LO no more. You like, nah, man, I'm cool. I'm like, bruh, like, nah, you a boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I started telling you that, like, I remember sitting there in that Lakers game, though. I was like, because you hit the floater from half court, the three-pointer. I was like, man, this boy out here is in his bag. And it was day home game. We had on the red jerseys. I remember that, like, boy. I
think I had my hair out, too.
Yeah, you had the afro, y'all. And it was like they interviewed your hair, because we won that game, because Corey had a crazy game. Corey won Kobe that game. And he had like 28-30 or some shit, and he was like going at Kobe. I remember that. But I remember you had like you had like 20 plus that game,
like
and it was like
22 or something.
I was like, damn, boy, like that was like a real. Cause you remember they was the standard. They was the standard. They was 3-peating at that time.
Anything against champs is different, man. Boy, I've been knowing you, man. Tosa, man, I've been knowing you about 23.
Like when we met each other, we was looking like it. We
long, hard years, man.
You know what I'm saying? Bah.
23 long, hard years, man. You've been a big bro, man. I definitely appreciate you, man.